All right. All right. Back we are under the formation lap. I don't think Lorenzo was able to get in. This would give Sprunky a chance to... it would give him pole position there, fortunately for Lorenzo. Sorry for the lack of talking there. Just trying to figure out some of the intricacies right now. Just making sure that we're all good to go. All right. Lorenzo is in here. He's in spectator mode for some reason. But I'm not sure if it's because he didn't get in on time or if it's because he put himself there in spectator mode. Either way, Sprunky is going to inherit the pole position, freefall P2. CJ Butch P3, KTM Sweden P4, Marko Selinovic P5, Richie P6, Azen P7, Bakker P8, Bumblebee P9. Always Rick is now in P10. We've got 14 drivers in the lobby. We are about to get started for the real time. We're just waiting for that reset, and there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And they're off for good in Baku. A bit of wheel spin there from the front too. We're seeing some spreading out in the rear. 3 wide on the second row. That's a Ferrari very deep. The Alfa Romeo's in the wall. One of the Alpha Tauris, that is, Marko Selinovic, has lost his front wing already. Getting together there on the start. And caution flags are out. Sprunky and Freefall are off to the races here. P1 and P2. Azen has gained 2 positions on the start there, up from P6. Bumblebee is up 5 positions. He started P9. 4 positions because he started P9. Bakker has gained some positions as well. CJ Butch is falling down the order, as is Richie there. He's having some problems. He's got damage on that Ferrari. Marko Selinovic has got bigger problems, though. He's got no front wing on his car. You can see the end plate there missing on Richie as he went deep, and I believe he's the one who made contact with Marko Selinovic, sent him into the side of the Alpha of CJ Butch, who bounced off the wall. Would not be surprised if CJ Butch had some damage as well. Sprunky is off to a 0.9 second lead. So 9/10 of a second there. Is gaining up to above 1. DRS does not matter for the first 3 laps, but it's nice to be out of the range by the time it does. KTM Sweden P3 there, Azen P4, both Mercedes gaining some ground. And with Bakker P6, the McLarens as well. Azen P4 is the top running Alpine driver, and Sprunky, the lone Aston Martin in today's race, out at the front. With no DRS here, the slipstream is going to be king. Here goes Bumblebee pulling up alongside Azen. He's going to have the drive to get by despite the medium tires, and it's going to be into turn 1. Bumblebee P4, Azen P5. Bakker looking prime for a move soon. Azen needs to step it up. I don't know if he's got a little bit of wing damage, but the 2 medium tire runners definitely getting an advantage here. But we've got some pit stops further back there. CJ Butch, Chavapo, Richie, and Marko Selinovic all pitting. Not a good day for the Alpha Tauris so far. There could be a safety car later on, though. That'll get them right back up to where the rest of the grid is. Let's get your track map up so you guys can take a look at where everybody is on the track, and let's get your let's get your position changes up right now. You can see everybody gaining some positions except for the top 2. They're staying put, and some positions lost at the back. Dr. Chavapo gaining 2 despite the early pit stop. On the tires, almost everybody on the mediums at this point after the current bottom 4 pitted off the softs. We've got a yellow flag there, and that is Vex the Vexter, who's had a spin right ahead of the castle section. He's getting himself turned back around and ongoing, and I don't know if he's got wing damage. He's certainly taking that corner slow, but it could be from just some overheating tires here. And let's take a look there as we get hopefully oh yeah, there's some wing damage on that end plate. That's going to be an early pit stop for him. Some fighting further back here. 2 guys who pit early, but they're not ready to give up. Dr. Chavapo, CJ Butch having a lovely little battle. What a camera angle that was. That was awesome. And thinking about a move down the inside there is Dr. Chavapo, but that's a bad corner for it, especially when we got a big DRS zone coming up. DRS is enabled as our leaders cross the line. They're going to get it here coming out of turn 2 in just a second. These guys don't have it yet, though. They're battling for P11 right now, and it's Dr. Chavapo going to take advantage of the DRS. He's a little far back there, but I think, or not the DRS, sorry, but the slipstream, and don't know if he's going to get it here. Definitely no DRS, and no, CJ Butch is going to hold him back there unless that's a late dive. And we're going to tune in on this battle later because there are some guys up at the front here who are a bit close. Bumblebee's looking strong on those mediums. The soft tires do die out quite quickly around this circuit, but they shouldn't have died out by now. I would expect at least lap 4 or 5 is when they're going to start to see them get slow. Vex on the hard tires. He's going to try to go to the end of this race, and if there's a late safety car that could advantage him a little bit, granted his tires aren't dead by then. Two Mercedes are now coming close together, and you saw KTM Sweden pushing, trying to keep his teammate behind him, getting a bit of a wiggle coming out of the castle section, but he's able to keep that car centered on the track at least and pointing the right way. Oh, some banging off the wall there for Bumblebee. I don't think he hit his front wing, but definitely going to cost him some time. He drops to about 9/10, and if he doesn't get up here, close up that 1/10 gap, he's not going to be able to get DRS, and definitely not going to get DRS now as KTM Sweden approaching the detection point. Somebody who is going to get DRS is 2 cars back. Bakker here, look at him closing up. The flap opens up, and Azen's going to take the racing line, let him go to the inside. Not going to matter much, though. Bakker's going to have more than enough room and more than enough time to switch back to the racing line, take the curb, and navigate that corner normally. Staying close, Azen, though. He's going to get another go here. Just kidding. No, he's not. There's no detection. Oh, yeah, there is a detection zone. I forgot how this track works. Apparently, he gets DRS there. You can see that rear wing. A lot of room behind him. Unfortunately for Azen, straight's a bit too short to put a move in here. He's going to have to hope for a mistake or to be within a second come the next zone. This is, like I said, lap 4, lap 5. Soft tires are going to start dropping off now, though. Mediums could already have the advantage in terms of grip. Depends a little bit on setup there. He's doing a good job staying close, but you can see the rear end is sliding and just not having a great time there on those red walls. Soft tires, a great line through that corner. That's how you save the most amount of times, and so close to the walls here through the castle section. Both of these guys are catching up to Bumblebee a little bit. He was not able to make any dent in that gap to KTM Sweden, his teammate. So at least at Mercedes, the soft tires are still working better. At Alpine, I'm not sure about that, as he's struggling to catch up the McLaren ahead. Bakker, no, he is cutting that gap down to Bumblebee. It was 1.5 around the start of this lap. It's 1.3 seconds now, and 1.2 as we get onto the straightaway. He's going to be getting a distant slipstream on Bumblebee. That's going to help him. It's going to, oh no! I was going to say it's going to disadvantage Azen, and we can see just how big of a disadvantage Azen gave himself as he gets loose here through the right-hander, slaps into the wall. It's going to be an early pit stop. There's debris all over the racetrack, and he's very lucky that that is not a DNF. Because in real life that would have been instantly out there. He hit the wall at such an angle, the front wheel, front right would have ripped off, and maybe even the back right as the car snapped back and made a big impact with the right-hand wall there down the last straightaway. It is one of the dangers of maybe getting a little too close to the curb or taking too sharp of a turning angle at that speed. You're going well over 300 by that point on the straightaway, and if you take too much, the grip breaks on the tires, that's it. You're out of there. Like, you're not going to do it. Through all that kerfuffle, Bumblebee's actually gotten past KTM Sweden, but they lost a lot of time fighting at Mercedes, because look at where Bakker is, right over the back of the diffuser there of KTM Sweden. With the tires dropping off the way they are, he's gonna have to he's gonna have to pick it up or lose the position. Bakker getting more time there. This is letting Bumblebee get away, and you can really see there that I think KTM Sweden was holding back Bumblebee. The soft tires are dropping off already at lap 5. The only man who seems to still be getting some pace on them is Sprunky, but with Bumblebee now in clear air, expect that gap to go down. He's due a pit stop soon anyways, is our leader, and down this straightaway is going to be an easy pass here from Bakker on KTM Sweden. The speed differential that they showed through the second half of the track there is just too great, I think. But KTM Sweden, if he's running less downforce, I talked about this in qualifying, might be able to keep Bakker behind. On board now, facing backwards on the Mercedes, and look at that, Bakker's actually struggling to keep up. Must be dumping ERS. Or he must have a big top speed advantage. You can see just how much he's closed up in the braking zone, though. That leads me to believe it's a setup thing, not a speed, not a grip thing there. Just Bakker not able to hold that speed long enough to pass him. Might get another opportunity here, though, as actually, yes, oh no, he got such a good run, but as soon as he broke that slipstream, he got out in the clear air. That car slowed right down, and not going to want to send it on that corner. There's a curve on the inside that can definitely just push you right into your opponent. We saw Sergio Perez do that to Ocon on this corner a few years ago when they were both at Force India. Don't want to do that. It's a great way to get yourself a penalty. It's a great way to get yourself some damage as well. And Bakker opting wisely there. There's a bit of closing up behind them, though, as always Rick and Crago are now closing up, or catching up to this group. And the Haas is going to be, I think, all over the rear of Bakker if he can't clear KTM Sweden soon, because it's clear that KTM is the slower car here. Not trying to be disrespectful to him. He's just on older tires, and this is around where they fall off the cliff. Point 2 is the gap to Bakker as they enter the penultimate corner, and I'm going to call this the last corner. Sorry. Technically, I think this one coming up is there's some corners on the straightaway, but let's be real, they don't count. Bakker so close, though. Well, only a tenth. If he doesn't get it here with slipstream, it's going to be truly a mystery. He pulls up to the right-hand side. He wants the racing line, and as KTM Sweden dives into the pits, he's not going to have to fight very hard for it. Another man in the pits is actually our leader, Sprunky. Yes, show us that empty pit box game. And coming out of the pits here, it's going to be P4. Yeah, just barely P4. There's Crago coming in hot. Freefall is in the pits as well. He's pit, or has he just pit? No, yeah, one lap. Well, he pit last lap. Freefall. So, bit of a wiggle there. Those mediums do take a lap or so to get really warmed up, where you can push them. The undercut, if that was what he was trying, did not work, but he has kept ahead of KTM Sweden, which is probably more important here for Freefall. Sprunky really in a world of its own out here in Baku. He's good at this track. He showed it in previous years, and he showed it with his time trial pace before the event. Fortunately for him, Lorenzo, the only man who seems to be able to catch up to him, is not able to rejoin on the restart. It's Lorenzo, unfortunately, and it really sucks for him, and I do apologize for him that he wasn't able to get in the lobby, but we did basically wait the maximum allotted amount of time. We waited 10 minutes before the race to get a driver in, which is what we at most allow, and we waited 5 minutes on the restart, which is also our maximum allowed. So Ephraim did join mid-qualifying. Unfortunately for Lorenzo, you can't join mid-race, and he's not going to be able to participate in here. But it's not as cut and dry as that. There was a bit of confusion on his connection as well, which led us to restart. But yeah, unfortunately for him, not able to participate here. It is very unfortunate, because he was in a great position to extend that championship lead, and instead it's going to give a lot of people a chance to catch up. Sprunky more than most here, as he is very close to him in the championship battle if he can win this race. Dr. Jvapo lining up a move on KTM Sweden. Those medium tires for KTM, seriously not in racing temperatures yet, but with Dr. Jvapo's tires being 5 laps older, I don't think he's going to be able to hold KTM back forever, and to expect that Mercedes to catch up. Always Rick is having a good race there. He hasn't pit yet, but take a look at the positions gained. You see our top 3, 8, 6, and 7 positions gained respectively. Sprunky's lost 3, but he's also already pit, so that's not truly representative. What is going to come down to is when the safety cars, if we have any, are going to come out, and how fast the softs are going to be at the end of this race. Sprunky catching up, though. That fresh tire advantage truly shining here. See that gap closing up down the straightaway here, and that's going to be an easy move before the DRS is even on for Sprunky, and he was ahead, and that's just going to let him cruise off into the distance. Rick's done a good job at staying close, though. He might get an opportunity onto this next straightaway if he can just get a better exit, but Sprunky undeniably has more grip here, and he's already catching up to the top two. Definitely going to need a safety car or a mistake, I think, to block Sprunky from a win here. If he makes the wrong decision on safety car pit stops, it could see him drop to the rear. No DNFs here, though. Already we've had a couple early pit stops and a couple of mistakes. But despite the damage, nobody has had to retire from the session. We've got 14 drivers still in a DNS for Lorenzo. He was in before, but with connection issues and a lobby restart was not able to get back in, unfortunately, for the championship leader. Sprunky already closing up on Bakker. I was not expecting that to come so close. I kept an eye out on Rick to see if he could catch up, and it looks like the Aston Martin is just unstoppable here, much faster than anybody else. And is he using a lot of ERS? That's the question. Certainly less than the guys ahead. He did just pit, so he has had that recharge. But to be at around 78, you don't gain much ERS around here in Baku. That means you got to be very careful with it and use it sporadically, or else you're going to have to lay off it for quite a few laps. You want to use it on the start, obviously, and then you want to use it a little bit when you're doing moves, but you want to let DRS do most of the work around here. If you get on the ERS too quickly, you lose out that power that you used. You come out of the last corner, yes, you've got about 9% extra DRS, or sometimes up to 20 depending on the situation and the way you drive. And by the time you get to the start-finish line, sometimes you barely break even because you use so much of it just driving normally down the straightaway. And I think that's really, ERS management is going to make a huge difference in this race, because if you don't know how to manage it well, you're going to be a vulnerable sitting duck there, even with that pace advantage from setups down the straightaways. You can't use your DRS because you're the car ahead. Can't use your overtake because you're defending, and you've got none of it. So for some of these guys, if they use up too much of it too early, not going to be a good time. Sprunky now catching up to our leader Bumblebee, who's have yet to pit. These guys in the top four, only Sprunky has, like I said before. And as Bumblebee gets a big moment there, good save right before the castle section. Sprunky not going to be able to make a move. It'd be crazy to think about a move here, but he does stay close, and he's going to be catching up. I think if it's not before the straightaway, it's going to be on it certainly. And he's going to retake the lead of the race. Nobody's crashed out at the castle section yet. I think Vex the Vexter is the only man who suffered damage there. And yeah, much better exit from Sprunky. It is essentially game over here for Bumblebee, at least for this battle. 16 laps left in the race, though, and still pit stops to go. We still don't know if those mediums will last to the end, depending on the racing conditions that these and the setups that these guys use. So we could see Sprunky still for another pit stop. Is Bumblebee gonna pit right now? Whoopsie daisies. Yes, he is. And he's going to be the only one of that top three to pit. Interesting. Maybe a two-stop here from Bumblebee. We are 16 laps from the end. That means 8 if you go for two soft tires. Although we did see there with a lot of these guys, you get on the softs, and you don't have a good time there towards the end of that stint. Freefall and Krago are getting close together on track. Freefall looking for a good result after a couple weeks away with the flu, and certainly trying to make his season bounce back. If you want to hear him commentate, though, check out our Div 2 stream right after this race. I'll be racing in it, and Freefall and Monkeys, who's currently racing in Division 4, going to be providing some commentary. All right, if you're in our chat, C9 viewers right now, if you guys can comment, give us a comment. Who do you think is going to win this race still? At this point, my vote's with Sprunky, but with a mistake or a safety car, that could all change. So I want your bold predictions. Who do you think can win this race that is not currently in the lead? Always Rick taking a penalty. Freefall had a big moment through the castle. You can see the time he lost there, getting himself out of DRS range already, and rather unfortunately for him. Dr. Chavapo is now closing up on him in the AlphaTauri. At least one of the AlphaTauris is having a good race. I can't say the same for a lot of these teams. Both Alpines, the Alpine of Azen and both Williams are racing down the order. We do have a comment, and I do hope it's somebody giving me their bold prediction. It's Passé, Freefall to win. Freefall P5 right now on the medium tires, and I'll let you know exactly how old those tires are. They are 6 laps old. He's got the freshest tires of the top 5 right now, minus Sprunky. He does defend from Dr. Chavapo there, despite the older tires on the AlphaTauri. He does a good job doing it, but that DRS down the straightaway here should do the job in, except Dr. Chavapo hitting the wall there on the exit is going to compromise his speed down the straightaway. He's still going to dive to the inside. Who's going to get it side by side here into turn 3? It's going to be Dr. Chavapo P4. Freefall can just hang back though and stay close. Keep in mind, he was running right behind Always Rick. He was catching up to Always Rick. It was a mistake through the castle section that saw him drop this far back. So it's definitely not a pace or a grip thing. I think Freefall can get back in. So Passé, your prediction, not necessarily over yet, just because he's back into P5. And hopefully we see this McLaren at least fighting his teammate there a little bit further up the grid. Or no, it wasn't. It wasn't Always Rick that he was fighting. He was fighting Crego, I believe, who's just pit for the hard tires. He's going until the end. I'm just going to take a quick peek over at our Division 4 stream and see how their race is going. And it looks like, yeah, they're having a bit of a harder time than us under safety car here. Lap 23 out of 26 should be a very interesting finish, but 9 cars left in this race. They've had 6 DNFs, sorry. And it's been a bit more chaotic than this one. Division 3 keeping it out of the walls relatively cleanly. And I'm surprised we haven't seen any DNFs so far. This track is usually killer. And usually you get a lot of safety cars around here. Bumblebee sets the fastest lap as he switched to the soft tires. He's definitely doing a 2-stop there. Soft to finish the race. Bit of a wiggle from Freefall. The McLarens are now P2 and P3. Aston Martin still leading this Grand Prix. KTM Sweden now catching up to Freefall. And it does look like this grid is just kind of flowing through itself. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3, and I'm not sure what that was for because nobody seemed to lose any speed there. That might have just been an AlphaTauri, and they are diving into the pits, possibly damage for Marko Selinovic. That could have brought out the yellow flag. Always Rick on the hard tires as well, going to the end. Azen is on the hard tires as well. Explains why he hasn't really caught up to the grid yet, but he also does not have to pit, saving a pit stop over a few of these guys. KTM Sweden not within DRS range of Freefall yet, so we're going to keep an eye out on this battle as CJ Bush is closing up on Always Rick. And actually, as I say that, I think KTM Sweden is going to be getting DRS here down the straightaway. We'll flip over that battle right now and right on board with the Mercedes as he tries to close up on Freefall just ahead. Bumblebee is going to catch up to these guys soonly. Soonly's not a word, but I said it nonetheless. Bumblebee, yeah, is going to catch up shortly is what I was trying to say. But those softs, if they fall off the cliff, I mean, he still has to pit. These guys, Freefall, KTM Sweden, they don't have to pit. Bumblebee needs a safety car to make this strategy work, I think. There's no way that in the last 12, 13 laps of this race, he's going to make up a full pit stop worth of time. Bakker might have to pit. I don't know if he pit lap 1 or if he started on those tires. I think he started on these tires. KTM Sweden, you can see just how much he's closing in there on the onboard. Not enough as we go through Sector 2. Don't expect much overtaking through this sector. It's so tight, it's so close, it's so hard to pass people through. Passé goes safety car lap 21. Jav says, Passé, check your Discord. And I say, Jav, why don't I get no lovey messages, man? I think I deserve them too. That's not cool. Lap 14 out of 26, about halfway done here. Sprunky building his lead. 6 seconds now. But I think he's going to the end. I want to race in Div 2. There's no space. I can just kick somebody out. Passe, you're kicked out of Div 2. I'm joking. Jeff wanting to raise Div 2 there. I think there might be room in the Ferrari, if I'm being honest with you. We'll have to check, though. Yeah, like I said, check with Passe. If not, yeah, come on and race. Current race, though, this is what matters most. Bakker in the pits. Free fall KTM Sweden side by side. This is actually going to be a double overtake for KTM Sweden as he gets by Bakker in the pits as well and gets ahead of free fall. 3/10 already the gap. You can see Bumblebee lurking in the background. I told you he was going to catch up to them shortly. Sorry, I said soonly. I told you he was going to catch up to them soonly. And sure enough, there he is on the horizon. Prime for an overtake. These guys don't want to battle too much. They're going to lose more time. If they do, they're going to lose more positions as a result. CJ Butch is in the pits as well. That's going to let Richie, who's having a tough race, catch up. Of course, Richie there early pit stop, and now pitting for his final stop. He needs a safety car to get back in this. We know how good Richie is in traffic. We know how good he is around other cars. He needs to be able to catch up to this pack if he wants to make an impact in this race, though. And at the moment, it doesn't seem like anybody wants to give him that opportunity. Nobody crashing as it stands. There's a battle here, though. This could lead to trouble as Chavapo, Bakker, and Ephraim very close together. Ephraim able to catch up there after early wing damage, and Chavapo doing a good job so far holding back Bakker, but Bakker just came out of the pits. There's still 0 laps on those tires. You can see Chavapo really having to use that ERS. Bakker's got 50% of his battery left. He's in a much better position. I love that camera angle so much. I cannot stress that enough. I wish I get that every single time I watch a car go through that section. And I didn't get it on Craigo there, and everything sucks in life. There you go. Let's get back on this battle there. Yeah, I have no shame. I admit it. I just switched over to Craigo so I could see if I get that camera angle again. This is a battle that matters. Those Bumblebee pits. 3 laps in for Bumblebee. What is happening? Is he really unhappy with the softs already? He goes back on the mediums. So that soft tire stint was definitely just a get it out of the way stint. Going back on the mediums, Chavapo trying the outside line. Always Rick on the hard tires is defending nicely, but it's not going to be able to get a better exit. Oh, these guys are keeping it clean side by side through turn 2 there and giving room on the exit. Just what we like to see. Rick is going to get another go here. He's going to pick the outside line again. That's a big disadvantage into this corner. He's going to have to outbrake the Alpha Tauri. And through the corner, you can see that front wing peaking. Chavapo still side by side, and he's going to go around the front, and just enough room for Rick. He's not going to spin, but he's going to get a bad exit. Chavapo is going to seal the deal here, and now it's always Rick under pressure from Bakker. Both RPM guys going at it. They're giving each other room despite a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, and Rick down to 6th place. What a battle that was here through the middle parts of this race. Rick showing how good he is at defending. Unfortunately for him, coming out on the losing end of both those battles, but he's still in this race. He's still close, and he still has Ephraim to worry about. It's not over the trouble for Rick. Bumblebee's right behind him as well, so he's got to get a move on and catch up to those two ahead. He lost a lot of time through the castle section, and those hard tires, I think, just not in temperature yet for him, even though they're 2 and a bit laps old at this point. He's falling backwards through this grid. I think the mediums might have been a better call, but he did start on the mediums, I think. Did he? I think he did, yeah. So I'm not sure at this point. Let's open it up here. Pit stops. And always Rick, yeah, mediums to hards there. So Aizen's out of the session, and is this a safety car we need? No, it's not a safety car yet. And I don't think it's going to be a safety car at all. You can see that Alpine there has smacked the right-hand wall. Ephraim is in the pits, but no safety car. Our first DNF of the session. No, there it is. A very late call. Very, very late call here for the safety car. Look at this. Like, if it come out right away, Chavapo, free fall, KTM Sweden, and Rick would all have gotten a free pit stop, but no, it comes out late. Now they're going to have to use the Delta until Sprunky catches up to it. And where is Sprunky at the moment? He's at the top of Sector 2, so still a long ways out. Richie's going to get a free pit stop in. That's going to help him tremendously. And there it is, the first safety car of the race as Azen hits the wall through the castle section. No points for the Alpine, but chance of points for everybody else there. They were going to get it some already at the start of the race, given the amount of drivers we got in here. But more points, the merrier, or so they say, I think. I'm not sure if they say that. I'm going to make it a saying, I think. Passé goes, I meant safety car restart on lap 21. I hope you're ready to wait 4 laps of this safety car because, yeah, we just got one at the end of lap 17. Sprunky's going to dive into the pits. Why wouldn't you with a 17-second gap to second place there? Now, it does say 17 because everybody's driving slower. That's not actually what the gap was before the safety car, but it is what it is now, and you can see just with the delta and the fact that KTM Sweden and Freefall are going to pit as well. That means he's not going to lose any positions. It's Sprunky. KTM Sweden's going to pit for a fresh set of medium tires, and Freefall is going to do the same thing. So top 3 fresh medium tires at the moment. Dr. Chavapo, never mind. Not going to be the top 3 because Dr. Chavapo and Bakker both get ahead of them on pit entry. It's going to be... actually, Bumblebee managed to split the pair as well. Oh, Bumblebee almost overtook the pair as well. Actually, no, he did. I got confused with my Mercedes. Bumblebee, I don't know what's happening anymore. Oh my goodness, the ticker was all over the place. Okay, I was right. KTM Sweden stays ahead, and Bumblebee does slot in behind. Always Rick taking a penalty. No, he already had a penalty. I don't know why that flashed. Oh, I think it's because he just came out of the pits, yes. So everybody pitting. Crago, Dr. Chavapo, and Bakker, the only drivers on used tires, and I have to question Bakker's decision here. 2 lap old soft tires. Let's say 1 lap old because part of that lap was under safety car and with the delta. Let's say the safety car comes in on lap 19. At the end of lap 19, that gives him 7 laps on these soft tires, and we know how quickly they fall off the cliff. If you want to use soft tires, by all means, I think they're going to make it to the end with no issues, but they got to be fresh. You got to pit for some fresh softs, and now it's too late. If he pits now, he's going to be coming out behind Ephraim, if like at best. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough one here for Bakker. He's got to have to nurse these tires. He's going to have to hope for an extra lap, too, under safety car. Sorry about that. If he can get started on lap 20, might have a chance to stretch him out. But do not expect any miracles here from Bakker because he's going to be falling backwards through the grid. I think Bakker putting position over strategy here and saw the opportunity to take third if he didn't pit. And little does he know, it might actually cost him a bit more than that. Bumblebee, the big gainer there, he had just pit a lap previous for medium tires, so he gets a few positions, gets the group back up with the pack. Richie, of course, getting to rejoin the group. Same with Marko Selinovic, Vex the Vexer, at least they will as soon as they get around the track. And same with CJ Butch, who are going to be able to finally race against some guys. They've been racing alone here since those early incidents. But I say we coughed at the same time. If you want to go again, I can time it. All right, ready? 1, 2. There you go. Perfect. Okay, that was a fake cough, but it actually made me cough for real. Right on. Okay, just making sure that we didn't have any incidents here in the chats. Of course, everybody's behaving. It's awesome. Thank you guys for watching as we're under safety car. We'll take you through the whole spiel again. I love doing it. Thank you for watching. Give us a like. Share, subscribe, whatever you're willing to do. We appreciate it so much. And thank you, of course, just for your presence here in the live stream, for your comments if you've been sending some, whether on this one or the old stream, and for joining us here on this race weekend. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, that is not what you want to do under safety car. Dr. Chavapo has sent it into the wall. All on his own. Under safety car from second place. Talk about throwing a podium away. There's no other way to put it. You're under safety car. You don't have to push, and you sent it right to the wall. What has happened there for Dr. Chavapo? Absolutely devastating, and it's not like there's another AlphaTauri to recover some points anywhere, because Marko Selinovic is down in P11 at the moment, and he's getting points, of course, but my goodness, throwing away a second place. He had fresher tires, he had track position, Dr. Chavapo had everything going for him, and in the end he walks away empty-handed, a DNF from the doctor. And definitely not a surgical performance on that one. I'm not sorry for that pun. And one man who's breathing a sigh of relief right now is Bakker. We're going to get a lap 21 restart. And Passe, good thing you didn't bet any money on that, because I would have lost. Soon as a leader crosses the line to start lap 21, the green flags are going to wave. They might wave a couple seconds before, but the overtaking is going to restart here. We've got one more lap under safety car, and these drivers should be getting anxious, but don't get too anxious, or else we're going to lose another one through the castle. How do you go 20 laps of full speed racing without making a mistake there once, and then you do it under safety car? I'm not sure. Something must have gone wrong there for Dr. Chavapo. That's not a usual mistake to make, and it's not like we see him make many mistakes through the season. He's kept it rather clean so far, and he's put in some good performances there. So absolutely uncharacteristic there from Chavapo, and super unfortunate. It's going to be the end of his weekend. He's got Bahrain to look forward to next week at the very least. The walls aren't so close on that track. Welcome, Div 3. Some of the Div 3 drivers are joining us here as their race is finished. Div 4. I keep confusing them. I did Div 4 all season long, and now I'm doing Div 3 comms, and I'm still calling the other stream Div 3. But thank you, Div 4 drivers, for joining us in the chat here and coming to watch the race. Give these guys your encouragement. We got 6 laps left. Yeah, Passe, exactly. Bakker does have a good chance right now, and that's crucial for him. And I'm just going to give a quick message to the Div 4 drivers in Discord. And encourage some more viewers into the stream here. And, thank you everybody for watching as usual. Safety car is coming in this lap. You can see the lights are off there on the top of that Mercedes, and right behind him it's the Aston Martin of Sprunky, who's going to be leading the restart. A lot of love for Sprunky now that some of the more regular drivers are in. Jeff said stuck a $5 on Freefall to win. Passe bet $2 on a double McLaren podium, and Freefall's going to have to come up there if Passe wants to win that bet, and so will Jav. So does Jav want to. We're off again. I'm going to start learning how to speak normally. Sprunky off to a good restart. Bakker staying close behind there, and as mentioned, that extra long safety car is certainly helping those soft tires. Might have just lucked himself into a great strategy. Freefall getting close. Oh, overcooking that corner just a little bit. Does a good job avoiding the rear, and always Rick spinning it out there on the restart. A little bit of wing damage, and that's going to be the end of contention for the Haas. Unfortunate, but it happens there late in the race. A bit of a spin out. I don't think there was any contact, but it was a little bit hard to see. Freefall, we're going to keep an eye on this guy. He's got a close gap, and Craigo behind him is falling back. Craigo's going to have a tough time. Look at all the soft runners right behind him, and these guys, yes, it does say 2 and 3 laps. This is their first racing lap on them. They all pit on the first lap of the safety car. Vexler, I think, actually damaged his wing under safety car. Had to pit again. That's helped him because now he's on fresh tires. Craigo is going to hold them back, though. You can see the top 5 breaking away, and look at Craigo just with a big train of cars behind him as everybody getting underway. First lap of green flag action should finish relatively incident free. as they're making their way to the line. Bakker 1.6 seconds behind Sprunky. Sprunky's just absolutely untouchable today. Might have to pull him up to Div 2 next season, just saying. Sprunky's that's the fastest lap. As we say that, KTM Sweden and Bumblebee are going to swap positions again. Not the first time we've seen the Mercedes battle it out over here. There is a yellow flag, and that's CJ Butch in the pits. What's happened with CJ Butch? Marko Selinovic is in the pits as well. Have they touched through the second half of this lap? Freefall now very close to KTM Sweden. Should be able to take a position shortly if he just goes for it, but not close enough on that one. Is he going to go for it here? Oh, he could have, but definitely not tempted to do a dangerous move there. I'm sure both KTM and the stewards are going to appreciate that restraint. I'm a steward, I appreciate the restraint. Anyways, on to more battles. Ephraim is getting close to Craigo, but surprisingly has not been able to pass him yet. And these soft tire runners behind him suffering. They were hoping for a good restart. They were hoping to just get right on the back of that lead pack. And Craigo has acted as a roadblock here. And this is why I say track position is king around Baku, around street circuits in general. Ephraim looking for a move there as Craigo gets a bad exit. And it's actually going to cost him more than it's going to cost Craigo, as he has to dive back there and reset and then re-accelerate. Might lose a position to Richie, who's up into P8 as it stands. Back up to the front now. There's battles going a little bit all over the place. We're going to get DRS at the end of this lap. Lap 23 out of 26 about to start. We're going to get 4 racing laps with DRS open. Should shake things up, as still much of the grid here within just seconds of each other. Getting 2 packs now. The 3 if you count the lone man out in front, Sprunky, with another fastest lap, 141.337. DRS is enabled now. Bakker is going to have to fend off Bumblebee, KTM Sweden, and CRL Freefall. Craigo holding back the slew of soft tire runners, and still none of them able to make a move. Now with DRS, though, shouldn't be an issue. Just got to get a better exit, get the DRS flap open, and onwards we go. KTM Sweden and Freefall are side by side there. I see those positions swapping back and forth, still side by side. Oh no! Bumblebee's in the wall, right in front of them. Oh no, and that, you know what, that double McLaren podium might just happen after all. There's CRL Freefall and KTM Sweden still battling. Sweden stays ahead in the Mercedes. Bumblebee, though, no front wing and in the wall, and now he's going to be holding back all of these guys. He's got to get out of the way. Get out of the way. You've got a damaged car. You can't take the racing line. He's going to hold back all of these guys. I hope this doesn't cost more damage. Get out of the way, Bumblebee. You are the slower car right now, man. All right, and away he goes there, and these soft tires are going to be very eagerly getting through. CRL Freefall might get a move here, but this is where I cycled through it by accident there. Sorry about that for the camera flipping, but this is where it's going to get absolutely, how do you say, spicy. As Craigo on the softs, Richie and Vex are right behind him, and Bumblebee falling further and further back. It's going to be the end of his race. He was racing so well today. Absolutely devastating for Mercedes, but at least KTM Sweden is still in contention. Side by side, Richie and Craigo, and it's going to be Richie ahead as he moves up to P6. Craigo's going to lose 2. Vex are tempting the inside line. Oh, side by side there. I was expecting a fight, but I wasn't expecting to go side by side there, and they're still side by side. Bit of a squeeze by Vex, but he's allowed to do that. I don't think that really affected Craigo too much. I didn't see any contact either. CJ Bush gets the fastest lap now, 141.2. Is Sprunky going to have another answer or no? We don't know that yet. KTM Sweden and CRL Freefall now close. Bakker's dropped back behind the both of them, and I'm not sure when that happened. I was focusing on the battles behind, but they're going to have to get by Sweden. It's KTM Sweden if they want a double McLaren podium. Through the castle. Oh, look, did you see the dive in there by Freefall? Absolutely just carried so much speed. Sprunky 5.8 seconds ahead. He looks like he's set to win this unless he crashes. He's just got to keep it clean. But for the rest of the podium, everything is in the air. As of now, lap 25 out of 26 is going to start at the end of this straightaway. And after that, it's going to be a 2-lap sprint to the end. Still a lot of positions to resolve, though. Richie and Vexavexter closing up on Ephraim, and Freefall closing up on KTM Sweden. Bakker's dropped back a bit, though. Like we said, 8 laps on those tires, they're going to fall off. And this is exactly what we predicted earlier on in the broadcast. Jav says Sprunky to have a double McLaren. What am I read 2 comments at once. Jav said Sprunky about to have a max moment, and somebody said something about the double McLaren podium. I do hope Sprunky doesn't have a max moment. Those tires are 6 laps old, so you'd have to really do something weird. Freefall gets ahead of KTM Sweden for P2. And maybe he's going to play the team game. Do you think Freefall at this point backs KTM Sweden up into Bakker? Does he risk it, or does he just try to dart off ahead? I could do a bit of both here. Super hard to pass through Sector 2, so he could play it slow and let his teammate catch up. I don't think that's happening. That gap is getting bigger. Ephraim is... I'm on Ephraim. Why show me Ephraim? There you go. Ephraim is still holding back both his teammate and Richie. Richie in a Williams sandwich right now. And, much closer to the bottom bread than the top. Craigo's still fairly close there, but he's got a penalty. It's not going to cost him any positions, but if he gains back these spots, it might just lose them. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I see that yellow. Oh, no. What has happened here? KTM Sweden is in the wall, and it's on the inside as he just lost it under acceleration. There's some bets being won right now because it's a double McLaren podium as it stands. Freefall and Bakker P2, P3. Sprunky still out ahead. There's no safety cars, no VSC. It's too late at this point. And just like that, both Mercedes, they could have had a double podium, and instead they might not even get a car in the top 10. Lap 26 has started. Our leader is on the last lap. The white flag is in the air. Sprunky just has to hold it together now for one more lap. And he gets a big W here in Baku. That should help his championship chances tons. Down further back to Richie. He needs this 4th place now, if he wants to still have a shot. Vex the Vexter, this is his first race as a full-time. He wants to make a good impression to start, and I think he has so far, because this is a great race there for Vex the Vexter. Richie under pressure. DRS is helping him. He's going to defend the inside line. And is Vex the Vexter going to go for a move? He's trying the outside. Richie's got to give a bit of room. Oh, what a beautiful line there by Vex the Vexter to sneak it around the outside. And that's a brilliant overtake as he gets ahead of Richie on the final lap of the race and gets both Williams in the top 5 here. Richie down to P6. He's not over, though. He's going to have another chance. One last opportunity down to the line. Will we see some drag races today? Oh, we've seen some in the past for sure. Over the curb one last time, through the castle section one last time. If you can survive this, you're home free at this point. Sprunky certainly is. We're going to tune in with him as he crosses the line, and we're going to get right back to this battle for 4th place. As the Aston Martin coming through the final bend here, he's kept it together. He's led just about every lap, and minus just a couple, and Sprunky is going to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He's going to get a nice, healthy 40 points in his championship account and takes another victory here in Season 5. Freefall P2, Bakker P3, and at the back we are going to see a drag race. I thought it was going to be with a Ferrari. It's going to be between the Williams, and side by side are they going to pull out there? Yes, Vex the Vexter going to go side by side, photo finish to the line. No, Vex the Vexter is just going to get ahead. Ephraim did not have enough left in him, did not use all of his battery, I think, and that's going to cost him at the line. And Vex the Vexter takes 4th place, Ephraim 5th. What an absolute drive at the end there for Vex the Vexter to go from P6 to P4 on the final lap. Richie P6, Craigo P7. CJ Butch is going to cross the line in 8th. Bumblebee 9th. Marko Salinovich 10th. And always Rick is going to round out the finishing drivers there with P11. Of course, he was running much higher than that until that incident. 17 viewers in the stream right now. That's amazing. Thank you guys for showing up and watching. Thanks to the sponsors, Advanced Sim Racing and IMB Racewear, for helping us provide this weekly entertainment entertainment for you guys. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and watching this stream. Your presence here is super appreciated, and especially thank you to the drivers for putting on a show today. Jeff, congrats on winning your bet, and that's a double McLaren podium there. We've got a lot of comments here in the last little bit. Cruz, welcome back to the stream there. No team orders at Williams. Passe, that was sensational. Sprunky winning the race with some cheering on for that. And I think Passe is actually imitating his, doing his best Toto Wolff impression there after the double McLaren crash. And certainly isn't a desk in that garage that isn't punched in at this point after a disastrous end to the race. It's an all-European podium, but it isn't a completely Croatian podium like a lot of people were hoping for. Sprunky P1 and the next Croatian P4. That's Vexa Vexter, who made a brilliant comeback drive at the end of freefall. The Scotsman P2 and Bakker P3 from the Netherlands. Ephraim P5, Richie P6. We're getting a lot of diversity there. Actually, it's an all-European lobby, so we aren't going to get much else other than a European podium. Unless CJ Butch was on it. Haha, Brexit joke. All right. Thank you guys for watching this broadcast. We are only 12 minutes away from the Div 2 race, so I'm going to have to skedaddle and get back in that lobby because I race in 12 minutes. So no interviews here. Thank you guys for your presence in the chat. Thank you guys for the likes, for the shares, for everything you've done here. And it's Knight signing off from this Div 3 stream. We're back next week with Bahrain around 8. Take a look on our social media for the poster coming out sometime this week. And of course, check out our Redbubble store if you want to buy any of the posters we've put out so far. They are for sale. You can get them in all sorts of formats. We might even make stickers if you guys want a cheap, smaller version of them to put around your sim rig. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this broadcast. As I said about 6 or 7 times by now, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Tune into Division 2 starting in just over 10 minutes. Division 1 right after that. We'll see you soon. Div 3 is going to be back next week in Bahrain. Hope you guys have an amazing time. Enjoy the rest of your day.